What's up everybody? I am in Ireland and I am visiting Applied Concepts today. So let's go take a look at all the lean great things they're doing. So this is really cool. This is their hose area. This is where customers would come in to receive their hose, or whether they're using their hose for production. They're using these stackable bins that they've made their own dividers around for, and the hoses can go right in here. It has the part numbers and everything listed right on the front here, so you have the part number, what it is. This is their hose building location. Down here they have this awesome trolley, and this trolley just wheels out so that they can change the hose that's on it. It also rotates nice and easy. Up top here, they have this wheel that they can actually build the hose, and they coil it up inside and then they can band it, saving a bunch of time, motion, energy. On the computer screen, it shows them how to build it with standard work. And then right over here, you'll start to see all of the locations marked out with breadcrumb trails on where to get replacement hose parts. Great improvements. These guys are rock stars. So when you're thinking lean, you start to get into situations like this. This is historically how they've purchased their hose and the amount that they've purchased. But this is actually how much they need to consume at a time. So they've actually worked with their vendor to reduce the length that they're getting, so it's easier for them to process internally without having to wrestle all this extra inventory that they've had built up that they no longer need. Okay, I want to point this thing out. It's awesome. This is what they're using to mark out 10 meters. And it has different size hose cutouts, and it's heavy, so it sits down to hold the hose so they can roll it out on the floor and cut it. We're looking at here is one of their breakthrough projects that is a real lean genius idea. This is an air compressor that's driven by a PTO. It needs a 100-horse tractor, but it creates a ton of pressure, and the ag industry has actually been the one that's picked it up, and it's been a great product for them, and new lean ideas built all into it. This area is a great example of one-piece flow. He's literally cutting on the plasma, bringing it straight to his fixture, welding together, and then moving it down onto the pallet to move to the next part of production. He's only making what's needed when it's needed. Here's an example of a poke-yoke fixture. They have this round hole that sticks up above the fixture. They have this clamp-on part that allows the material to hit here. As you can see down here on this, they have the round hole. And the distance off the side here is all controlled by the fixture. I do want to point out one more thing. They built their own crane. So in this space, there was never an overhead crane. They actually built it, and now they have an easy way for the operator to move the material. Throughout their entire factory, you're going to find that they're super creative in the way that they're using their kanban pull tag. You can see here they got a notch in this tubing for this hanger, so it has to come off before this roll can come off. And you pull that off, and you can see they have the kanban clips on the front. Super cool, super creative. Here's another example of using your head, not your wallet. This is their welding screen walls. And they are so creative. They have everything on a track on these frames, and they can just slide them down to reconfigure their space. This is a super cool fixture that they're building to create this giant frame for their air compressor, and it's on a rotisserie that they built, of course, and they can rotate it all over the place in order to do the work. Also in this welding area, you can see all these great racks for their grinders with the grinding discs above it, hooks on the back for the cables. Everything is just in its place where it should be. Tool management is something that Applied is doing so well. As you can see here, they have all these clamps, and they're just right in where they should be, on the wall, not on the floor, not on the ground, not on a work table, ready to use. They're using every bit of space. Up here on this mezzanine, you can see they have an entire supermarket of parts. Everything is labeled, so you have all the aisle numbers, and then you can see on the beams, they have bin locations for all those beams as well. Super cool. Here's a really cool improvement. They're using some wood to cut in slots to stack the material that they need for this assembly station. It keeps everything from piling on top of each other, creating defects. As you can see, they also did it down here. So it's also a good way for them to transport, because currently they're doing their powder coating outside of this building, and they can get everything back here just so the operator can grab and keep working. This is a crazy cool example of how to use controls. As you can see on the wall, they have hangers, and those hangers dictate which hoppers go where in that line. So for example, the 40 liter go here underneath that 4 times. This is so cool. They also put these little feet down here so that the hoppers can set in there and not roll away. Hey, to the family over at Applied Concepts, thank you so much for having us on a visit. You guys are doing lean at an exceptional level. It was so cool and inspirational to see your improvements and see how much you have grown. I can't wait to come back and see how much further you guys are going to go. To the moon, guys.